Hello, here we are at week 26's instructional video. Phew, finally here. So let's go over what your objectives are for this final week in the course. For your language objective, we have speaks clearly enough to be understood by strangers 70 to 90% of the time. So the reason this objective comes at the end is because your child has had all this experience throughout the course, doing different language objectives, listening to you, talking in complex sentences, integrating so many different parts of speech. So they've had a huge opportunity to practice language and speaking skills. And so now we want to look at, how often, especially if they're going into a traditional kindergarten experience where they're going to need to communicate with teachers, with other people throughout the day, we want those people to be able to understand what your child is saying. So here's a few ways to check it out if you're not already sure where they're at with this. You can visit the library and ask the librarian, for instance, to help your child find some books that they're interested in and sort of prompt that engagement and just observe. See how your child interacts and how well your child is understood by the librarian. You could sign your child up for a fun, age-appropriate Zoom class. There's a lot of options out there where, children can communicate with a teacher and with other students on Zoom, and you can use that as sort of a test environment to see how well they're understood by other people. Grocery store clerks, any type of situation like that. Other moms at the park, you can even let them know, like, hey, I'm trying to see, if you have some hesitations about it and you feel like maybe your child is not, quite as easily understood as you would like them to be, ask another mom to have a conversation with your child and ask them about how their birthday went or how their trip to the zoo went so that they can practice that. Tell them you would like them to have a little bit of additional practice speaking with somebody that maybe they're not completely familiar with, somebody other than you or grandma, to give them that experience and for you to be able to observe how easily they're understood or not. For your cognitive objective, again, we do not have a new one for you this week. Use this time to either take a break from it entirely or to continue to work on things that you would like to have a little bit of additional practice in. Get to some activities you maybe had to skip before because of time constraints. Use the time however you see best fit. We're all the way to the letter Z. It's a nice, easy one, a fun one. It's fun for your child to draw and use their writing skills that they're developing. It's a consonant. It's pretty easy to say. So this is a fun one to maybe do some crafts with. We give you some activity ideas for the letter Z. In math, they're counting by nickels, counting by 5s to 100, which can be challenging at this age. If this isn't something that your child completely masters or is ready for, again, that's totally fine. You can practice counting by 1s, but it's an opportunity usually through repetition and just hearing the repetitive pattern of you counting by 5s to 100 is going to get them there. And then by doing it with nickels, they're learning what the value of nickels are, and it's reinforcing that these are 5 cents. Knowing their own birth date. So again, as they go off to a traditional kindergarten experience, a lot of times kids will get asked, well, what's your birthday? And so knowing their own birth date, and this fits in with the different time objectives that we've been learning about lately. They've been learning about calendars and months of the year and things like that. So finding their birthday, marking it on the calendar, knowing and memorizing the date of their birthday. And then reading the time on a digital clock. So by now your child has a lot of experience with recognizing numbers. And so teaching them to read the hour and the minutes on a clock. For fine motor objectives, we have 1 tripod grasp activity, 1 spherical grasp activity, 1 bilateral hand coordination activity, and 1 in-hand manipulation activity. For social and emotional learning, under the category of self-awareness, we have speaks out for or takes appropriate action to defend self or meet own needs or rights. So you don't want to set your child up for any kind of difficult situation, but you want to see, for instance, that when it's their turn in a game, they speak up and say, oh, it's my turn, or that For instance, they, when it's their turn with an object, if they ask to have a turn with a particular toy, or if they ask to have a turn with a shared item, like perhaps glue or scissors or something like that, that they understand how to communicate that need and understand, to then come back to it. Then if, a couple minutes have gone by and they haven't received their turn, to speak up for it. When do you ask an adult for help with this? So these are things that you can talk to them about, that you can observe when they're playing with other children. And we give you some activity ideas for this as well, to make sure that they know when to do so and how to do so. And your project for this week, as we wrap up this course, is a preschool portfolio. So this is sort of a project for them, but it's also sort of a project for you. This is where you can create this portfolio in whatever means or format works best for you, whether it's on paper, in a scrapbook album, a photo album, or whether it's a digital portfolio, just of examples of their work and experiences that they've had throughout this course, the different things that they've learned, the different achievements that they've made, the different objectives that they have mastered. So we give you some ideas to make this not only as a keepsake, but potentially as a portfolio. For instance, if you're trying to enroll your child in a private kindergarten and you want to show them samples of your child's work and of what they've been doing, this is a perfect way to display that. So we give you some ideas for that, to wrap up this course and sort of bring everything together. It's been my pleasure to walk you through these weeks, and we do have some summary videos and information to help you wrap everything up. But I just wanted to say thank you very much for joining us throughout this time. It really, really has been a pleasure to walk you through this. And I hope that you continue learning with your child, whether it's, they're going to traditional kindergarten, whether you're doing it. I hope that you continue this wonderful learning partnership that you've forged with your child on for years and years and years to come. Thank you so much.